everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am gonna be telling you guys a little story. So I have my glasses on today, guys. My eyes are going through the most. I broke my other pair of glasses. I think it's like the third pair of glasses in a year. So I broke my other pair of glasses. I haven't been wearing glasses for like a week, almost 2 weeks, and this is my old pair of glasses. Is gesellotape aan die kante en alles, but yeah, I'm doing this. So I'm wearing my glasses. Hope you guys can see me in the camera. Hope you guys can see my eyes with my glasses on, but I have to wear it because the headaches are killing me. So yeah, I said I was gonna share a story with you guys. So my story is about how, as you guys can see by the title, my story is about how I prayed for a husband at the age of 18. I didn't pray because I wanted a husband at the age of 18. No, I did not. It just happened. It just happened that I prayed for him at the age of 18. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. So ek kom van 'n Pinkster kerk af, né? En aan 'n Pinkster kerk, seker by al die kerke, ander kerke ook, maar what we had was wat ons noem het 'n deurbid sessie. So what happens is we gather around about 6 o'clock ish at night, and then we pray through that whole night up until the next morning 6 o'clock. So there's no sleep, there's no eating, there's no nothing. It's just prayer from the beginning straight to the end. So I was 18 that year. We had a concert coming up. We had a lot of stuff in youth that we prepared for, and we really needed God to guide us. And our youth leader at that time, she believed in us praying, in us communicating with God, in us finding ourselves in God. She really molded us. She really molded us, and I thank God that I was at the time in that church and in that youth, that she was a youth leader, because she was brilliant. She was brilliant. So yeah, sy het gemaak ons moet 'n deurbid sessie hou. And like I said, I was 18. I was in my matric year. I wasn't in a relationship with my husband at the time, but we've been chatting for 3 years already, and I felt that we were together already, and he felt that we were together already, but we met when I was like 15, 16. I was very young when we met, and he was already in his 20s. I think he was 22 by the time. So I was very young still, and he knew that I was very young, and that's why at the time he didn't want to fully be in a relationship with me, which I understood because he really respected me, and he told me all the time that he was gonna wait for me. But I mean, when you're a teenager and a guy tells you that's in his 20s already, he's gonna wait for you, you're like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. But yeah, he told me that he was gonna wait for me, and he did. So going back to the night that I prayed for a husband, and I specifically prayed for my husband that I have now. God specifically told me to call him on his name. God specifically told me to say where he lives, to say his name and his surname, and to say what I want from him. God specifically told me to tell him what I want out of a relationship and what I want out of my husband, what I want in a husband, how I want to be treated, how I want to feel, how I want to love. And oh yes, see, it was difficult. It was difficult. I'm gonna tell you why it was difficult. Let me drink some coffee. I'm gonna tell you why it was such a battle for me to pray for a husband. So okay, yeah, I was 18. I was in my matriek jaar. So ek kon gebid het vir my matriek. Ek kon gebid het om te slaag. Ek kon gebid het om my matriekjaar deur te maak. Dit was 'n moeilike jaar vir my. Ek het nie geweet like most of my friends were out of school already. I was the only one left because in all of my friends circle, I am always the smallest one. Always. I think I have 3 friend circles. Yeah, I've got 3 friend circles and all of them are 3-4 years older than I am. I'm always the one that's the barbecue. So now you must understand, all of my friends, they're done with school already. I'm in school. I feel frustrated. I don't feel that I fit in any way. My grades are not doing as good. And I just went through a terrible stage. And at the time, my sister went through a pregnancy. It wasn't an unwanted pregnancy, but it was an unexpected pregnancy. And she was sad a lot in her pregnancy. She was sad a lot. So that made me sad, you know. So I felt like I could have prayed for her, or I felt like I could have prayed for myself, for succeeding, for going to university, for anything. Literally, I felt that I could have prayed for anything. My parents at the time were not in a good space. My brother at the time was not in a good space. So in my life, in general, I felt like I have a lot of stuff to pray for. But I promise you guys, we started at 6 o'clock the previous night. And al wat ek kon gedoen het is, ek het saam met my ander jeugmaats net ingestry en saam met hulle gebid en saam met hulle die Here gebedank en saam met hulle beamen en saam met hulle net ingestry, maar ek kon nie my rad kry om te bid nie. Ek kon nie vind om voor te bid nie. Every time I started praying for myself, it felt weak. My prayer felt weak. Every time I started praying for my family, my parents, my prayer felt weak. Every time I wanted to pray for literally my sister, my brother, like real stuff that was important to me at the time, you know, that I felt that I really wanna pray for that stuff, you know. I felt really in the time that, like, why is it that when I wanna pray for this stuff, it doesn't feel, it's like God doesn't want me to pray for it. That's how it felt. It's like God doesn't want me to pray for myself, for my family, for stuff that I should be praying for, you know. And yes, I went into a physical battle with God now. Ek weet nie of dit die regte woorde is, maar dit is hoe ek gevoel het. Ek het gevoel letterlik ek redeneer met die Here. Dit is letterlik vir my gevoel, ek stry met die Here, ek vra vir die Here, but why is it that as ek bid vir goed wat belangrik is, wat ek voel gebed nodig het, why is it that it feels to me as if you don't want to hear it? It feels to me that I shouldn't be praying about this, like what's going on? En in die tyd wat ek met die Here redeneer, kom die Here se stem by my op en die Here sê vir my, bid vir jou man. And I was like, what? En die Here se stem sê vir my, bid vir jou man. And in my mind, I was like, but for your man, I am not in a relationship. I am in a entanglement. Guys, this is a new word South Africa learned. But I was like in a itsy with Cesare, you know. We weren't in a relationship, but I was yours and you were mine. That was it done, but ons was nie fisies saam nie. Like I couldn't say that is my boyfriend or that is my partner or that is the person that I'm with. Like it wasn't something like that. Ja, ons het elke dag met mekaar gechat. Ons het elke dag van mekaar. It was good morning messages, good evening messages, like how is your day and I miss you and we must make a plan to see each other, stuff like that, man. It wasn't a thing of you are my boyfriend. So I was like, God, what are you trying to say? And yes, see, you know, I told my husband this story briefly, man, but I never went in depth with what happened that specific day. So today I'm gonna go in depth with you guys what happened that specific day. En die Here se stem kom by my op en hy sê vir my, bid vir Cesare om jou man te wees. And I was like, no ways. There's no way I am doing this. I felt like yes, see, op pad, no? Like walking to the prayer session. Op pad, soos wat ek deurloop na die deurbid sessie toe. A lot of stuff went through my mind, man. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pray for this. I was like, yeah, I'm going to pray for my mommy. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pray for my daddy. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pray for my sister. And I'm going to pray for myself. And I'm going to pray for my family. And this is the day that I need to do this. I was like, vandag gaan die Here gaan 'n deurbraak maak vandag. You know, I was excited, man. I was excited. I had a lot of energy. And throughout, I couldn't get my rat. En ek vra vir die Here. But Here, hy sê hoekom ek hier is. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to pray for a husband. I mean, I'm 18. I'm not even in a relationship with this guy. I don't even know if this guy wants to be with me. Like how am I gonna pray for a husband? How am I gonna pray for him specifically? And die Here sê weer vir my, bid vir 'n man. En ek word kwaad. Ek word kwaad tot binne in my siel. Ek word kwaad tot binnekant in my siel. En ek stry met die Here. Hy was seker so around past 2 in the morning that I started arguing with God, and I started questioning him, and I started asking him, like, why should I do this? Why should I do this? I don't want to. This is not why I'm here. I'm not here for this. I'm here for something else. Ek is hier as 'n steunpilaar vir my familie. Like, dat is hoe ek gevoel het op die tyd. Like, ek wil vanaand 'n steunpilaar wees vir my familie. En ek wil vanaand bid vir my familie. Ek wil bid vir 'n deurbraak en ek wil bid vir iets. Ek wil bid vir 'n wonderwerk. For a wonderwerk. That's how I felt at the time. I wanted to pray for breakthrough, and I couldn't do that from 6 o'clock at night up until 2 o'clock in the morning. From 2 o'clock in the morning, I started arguing with God. Ek het begin redeneer met die Here. En ek het begin bevraagteken. And I mean, you don't do, like, I'm not sure if you can do it or if you should do it, but I did that. Ek het hom bevraagteken. En dit het so aangegaan van 2 daai môre. Dit letterlik 5 o'clock die oggend se kant. Dit was 'n somersoggend. It was in October. It was 'n somersoggend en around about 5 o'clock in the morning, you can see the sun coming up. At this time now, I'm getting scared. I'm getting scared because I feel like I'm disobeying God. But I'm also frustrated at the same time because I've been at this prayer meeting just praising God with my fellow youth mates, and the last part of the prayer session I've been arguing with God. So I just felt disappointed, like I messed up this whole night that I came for. It wasn't my plan. I had a structure, and it just felt so wrong in so many ways. And finally het die Here sulke kalmte oor my gebring. 5:00 die oggend. Now I have an hour left to start praying. Yes. And I decided, you know what? Kom ek wees gehoorsaam. Kom ek doen wat die Here van my verwag om te doen. And I started praying. But it started out very casual, because now I feel like I'm praying for something that I don't even have. Like, I'm praying for something that it doesn't make sense to me at the time to pray for it, but I'm doing it because ek wil nie nou ongehoorsaam wees nie. Jy weet? So I start praying, and my gebed begin met dankie Here vir die openbaring, né? Van daai so die groot mense ons geleer het, like, as jy die stem van die Here hoor, dan begin jy eers vir hom dankie te sê, want die groot mense het ons ook geleer dat ons sê so min dankie vir die Here. Verstaan jy? Ons vra en ons verwag, maar ons sê so min dankie vir die Here. En ek begin my gebed met dankie Here vir die openbaring, en ek gaan aan om ek roep hom op sy naam. Ek roep hom op sy naam, en ek verklaar dat hy myne is. Ek verklaar dat hy die man is vir my. En ek bid dat die Here sy gedagtes moet verander, dat die Here sy weë moet verander, dat die Here sy leefwyse verander. Dat die Here hom vorm in die man wat ek wil hê, in die man wat ek verdien, in die man wat vir my liefde gaan gee, wat vir my die bonatuurlike gevoelens kan gee. All I ever wanted, and that's all I ever wanted, or all I ever want in life is to be happy. Regardless, I don't want a lot of material stuff. I don't want a lot of fairy tale stuff. I just want to be happy. I just want to be with a person that loves me as much as I love him. And that's what I prayed for. I prayed for God to let him love me the way I will love him, the way I want to be loved, and let him be a good man for me, and let him be the one that God, not me, that God wants him to be for me. Yes, see, en ek het aangegaan en ek het gebid vir 1 uurtjie. I mean, I had 12 hours. I had 12 hours to pray, and it took me an hour. 1 hour, the final hour of the night. It took me the final hour of the night to really talk to God, to really pray for something that I believe in, to really feel the presence of God, because ek sal vir julle sê, terwyl ek gebid het, like I had my doubts, but elke keer as ek sy naam uitgebring het, of as ek vir die Here vertel het, wat die tipe mens ek wil hê, dan I felt it, man. I really felt it. Ek het dit letterlik diep binne in my siel in gevoel. En nadat ek vir hom nadat ek vir hom klaar gebid het en die bidsessie is oor en alles is verby, I felt weird. I felt weird because I couldn't believe what just happened. And I couldn't believe that I didn't now pray for my family and I didn't now pray for myself and I didn't do what I wanted to come do. I did something completely different, something that I didn't expect. So it felt good, but it also felt weird. And I also felt a little sad because like I said, I didn't pray for my family. And my family is everything to me. They're everything to me. And tyd gaan toe aan. So that same October, it was my matric farewell. So he was the first guy actually that I asked to go with me to my matric farewell. However, he declined. He said no. And he said it very blunt. He's like, nee, jy is kindergoed en ek gaan nie sin toe nie. So I felt like, what? So which means die man dink ek is 'n kind. Because I was in matric that year and it was my matric ball and you not wanting to go because as kindergoed beteken I'm a child, So hy het 'n bietjie seer gemaak. But I asked him, so I decided to ask someone else to go with me to my matric farewell. And the one thing that I asked him, all I want, or what I would appreciate for you to do is, please come to the house before I leave. Just come to the house. I just want you to see how I look and I just want one picture with you on my day. I just want one picture with you. And for me, that was the most important thing I wanted to do on the day of my matric farewell. And he didn't come. We waited and waited and waited and waited and I stalled and I didn't tell anybody why I was stalling, but I was just on the outlook for him to come. But he didn't come. And I went to my matric farewell, went with a very wonderful guy to my matric farewell. He was awesome. We went to my matric farewell, we had a blast together. So we came back and so now my parents allowed me to go to an after party, right? And before we went to an after party, we went to this one place where we used to stay. And I saw him there. I saw Chase right there. And I saw him there with another girl. He was sitting very close to him and hanging on him and stuff like that. And I didn't like that at all. So, when I saw him, I was broken. I was broken because you were off the whole day. You didn't go to work. You didn't come. I'm here at this place now. And you here with another girl. She's hanging on you. And at that point, I was just klaar. I was done with him. I was done with him. Back then, it was still BBM. So, when you delete someone from BBM, it disappears on the other person's phone. So that other person can see that you deleted them. I delete him from BBM. I still had Mixit. Mixit was also still in the mix, but it was on the verge of going out, removed him from my Mixit. I delete everything. On the day of my matric farewell, I deleted everything. Net daar, I was klaar with him. So the next day was our matric farewell was on a Friday. The next day was a Saturday. The Saturday, our youth, a big event. The one that we prayed for, die een wat ons gepas en bid het voor. Dit was die event. So I just occupied myself with preparing for that event. I had a blast. I had a blast the previous night with my matric farewell. After I deleted everything, I had a blast. The next day was the big function. I went to the function. I kept myself busy there, kept myself occupied. And I just didn't think about him. Vir my op hy punt was, ek was klaar met die man. Ek is klaar met hom, ek is seer gemaak, my hart pyn. In my mind is het van, is hulle saam, is hulle nie saam nie, how can I do this, like, 'n klomp goed het in my mind aangegaan. And the next day, I think it was the Sunday. It's either the Sunday or the Monday. My memory is not so so lekker aan. Maar the next day, my sister went into labor this is now the day after the function, the youth function. So it's after my matric farewell, after the youth function, the following day or the day after that. I'm not sure, but it's indicted. So my sister goes into labor. She went into labor around about, I think, 6-ish the morning. She went into labor. Ons almal het saam met haar by die bank gesit. My ma het nie gemaak dat sy nou vroeg hospitaal toe gaan en al die tipe dinge nie. My ma het saam met haar deur die eerste ligte pyne gegaan en alles. En ons sit in die sitkamer in. En ons sit in die sitkamer met haar. En sy kry nou al ligte pynetjies en al die. En hier hoor ons net go. And I'm like, what? Is anybody expecting someone? They're like, no, nobody's expecting anyone. Ek gaan maar die deur oop. Ja. Open the door. There he is. My husband. My now husband. Back then, the guy who didn't come to my matric farewell. So he came, he knocked on the door, I opened the door. Ek skrik myself boeglam. Boeglam. My ma vra toe visit, ek sê toe van nee, is Chesrey. En that time, het my ma nie geweet hoe die man lykie. She just knew him by his name because I would like always talk about him. And I had a very I was very open with my mommy. Like with relationships or boys that I liked or my phone and stuff like that. I didn't really hide anything from my mommy. I told her if I'm chatting to a boy or if I'm gonna go see a boy or stuff like that, and she would always like support or deny or like, you know. So I never hide anything from her. So I told her, okay, no, this is Chesrey. And I told them the story that I deleted everything and blah 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 blah. And he stood at the door and asked me, can you please talk to me? That time I was like, yeah, see you go. Went outside and die specifieke dag wat my sister in kraam gaan. Nou moet julle verstaan, that is why I love Ashley to bits, because die kind is 'n geskenk van die Here af en die kind is nuwe geboorte aan my verhouding. Aan my verhouding en my nou huwelik. Because she was born on the day that he came and apologized for everything. He apologized for not coming. He apologized for being at the place that he was, being with the girl that he was, explained what happened in that whole scenario. And there and then asked me to be his girlfriend, to be with him. He doesn't want to lose me. He wants to be with me. And I told him, because we still had finals coming up. Remember, my matric farewell was in October, and the finals is must now November-ish, no? So I still had my finals coming up. And he said, I know, I said I will wait for you up until you're done. I will still wait for you up until you're done. But I want you to know now, because you're going to be done in 2 months from now. So I want you to know now, the moment that you're done with your final paper, you are mine, and I am yours. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I had the most stupid smile on my face that day. All I could say was, yeah. But I gave him some shade, you know, like I wanted to know what was going on and who was she and why didn't you come and stuff like that. But the moment he said, I'm yours and you are mine, I was like, yes, I want to be yours and I want you to be mine. And ever since that day, guys, really, dit wat ek die Here gevra het, die aand by die deur, maar dit wat ek die Here gevra het, om vir my te doen, het die Here gedoen. Because I never asked Chesrey to change his lifestyle. He just changed his lifestyle. I never asked him to give me all the time and all the attention. He just gave me all of his time. Letterlik al sy tyd. He gave me all of his time. He gave me all of his attention. And up until today, he gives me so much attention. He gives me so much time. He he gives me everything that I ask God for. Everything. Letterlik op die laaste, tot op die laaste punt gee die man vir my. So, yeah, that is my story of how I prayed for my husband. Guys, I really believe in prayer. I believe that when you ask God for something and when it's the right time for you, that's the most important. When it's the right time, when it's God's time and not your time. Because baie kere wil ons dinge ons tyd gedoen hê. But as dit God se tyd is, gaan die Here vir jou gee net dit wat jou toekom. Hy gaan vir jou gee net dit wat jy toekom. Die belangrikste is that you keep on praying and you keep on asking and you keep on believing that it's gonna come through. And the moment it's gonna happen all at one time that you're gonna be so overwhelmed with everything. You're not even gonna know how to handle it. But God will guide you through everything. He will show you the way. Like, oh my God, like today I am married to this guy. Guys, I'm married to this guy. I am married to the guy I prayed for at the age of 18. In die middel van nie die woestyn nie, maar in die middel van 'n tsunami kan ek sê in my lewe op daai tyd. I mean, like every single person in my life, like my small circle, my huishouding was nie reg nie. My suster sy het nie lekker gevoel nie, sy was baie hartseer, sy is swanger, my broer gaan deur baie dinge, hy voel ook nie lekker nie, like my mom and dad, they are just not clicking. Ek is in matriek in, like I feel all this pressure, but in die middel van al die gemors, kom die Here, en hy maak ek moet bid, vir iets wat my lewe gered het. Iets wat my rein gemaak het. Iets wat my rustig gemaak het. You see, I can believe, I can remember so a lot of times where there was drama at home. There was always drama, but so a lot of times there was drama at home. And once I receive a message from Chizzy telling me, hey babe, can I come pick you up? You wanna chill by me a bit? You see, I felt calm, man. I felt calm. I don't know how to put this into words, but really, God gave me kind of like a soft cushion to lay on every time I felt exhausted. And that's my husband. He gave me, and now I have that constantly, every day. And yeah, sometimes I don't complain. I don't complain, but sometimes I would talk to like my sister-in-law, and I would tell her, now Chizzy has this thing of, he never, let me say never, he never wants to see me down. He never wants to see me sad. He never wants me not to smile. Like, ek moet smile, heel dag, soos 'n robot. Heel dag, aldag. So, like, in die lewe kan 'n mens elke dag, heel dag smile, of elke dag, heel dag happy is. So sometimes I don't smile, or I don't, like, you know, I'm just like, I just have an off day, and then you would be like, babe, what's fout? Babe, what's fout? Is you alright? Babe, what's fout? Is you alright? Then I feel like, just go away. Just go. I just wanna not smile, or I just wanna not do anything, or I just wanna not laugh, or whatever. And he would be like, come, smile for my bikkie, smile a bikkie, or sê my wat is fout, sê my wat is fout. And I would complain by my sister-in-law. And I was like, ja, no girl, ja, ek kon alweer nie vandag net 'n bikkie doodstil gesit het en TV gekyk het nie. Dan wanneer ek hoor, baby, is jy alright? Baby, is jy okay? Is daar iets wat ek kan doen om jou beter te laat voel? But then I feel absolutely fine. I just want to sit there and watch TV. But that's how much he cares. That's how much he loves me. That's how much he just wants me to be happy. And I appreciate this guy. I appreciate this guy so much. So yeah, I think this is the end of my video. Ik zal heel dag zo tijd praten hoor, die man. Letterlijk. Heel dag. So yeah, this is the end of my video. Hope you guys found the story time interesting. Thank you for all the time that you're spending watching my videos. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below. I will answer. Love you guys. Mwah.